I just wanted to kind of show you a brochure from our program and what we're all about. We are primarily training students to become forest technicians here on the Big Island, but throughout the state of Hawaii. As you all know, we have a lot of precious forest resources here, a lot of endangered species, birds, plants, insects that need protection and stewardship. And so this program trains students to become technicians working with forest management. A lot of the employers are the Park Service. We have the Hawaii Volcanoes National Park here on the Big Island, and we have Haleakala National Park on Maui. The Forest Service, which have a number of projects throughout the state on forest management. DLNR, which is Department of Land and Natural Resources, and under them they have a DOFA section, and a lot of our graduates end up working with DOFA, which is Department of Forestry and Wildlife. In the private sector, there's a number of companies that hire our graduates to manage different forests. Timber Resources, Forest Solutions is one big company. And then we have a few other groups such as Three Mountain Alliance, various watershed programs throughout the state that are conserving watershed areas. And they all need people that know their plant species, their wildlife species, how to measure their sizes, to do counts, to do frequencies, all the things that we need to know about those ecosystems. And this is what we train our students to do. It's a, like I said, a 2-year program. And some of the main skills that we want you to learn would be agroforests, which are planted forests, but they can involve fruit trees, timber species. It's a very important class. We require several computer classes, so you become good with data entry, databasing, Excel work, and things like that. We also have a trigonometry course that we require for teaching, for doing a lot of the calculations for tree heights and area determination. There's a chemistry requirement and a forest ecosystem surveying and monitoring course, which is probably one of the most useful classes you'll ever have, because this is where you learn your plant species, you're in the forest, doing transects, doing plots, and collecting data, really hands-on. We also promote Hawaiian plant culture, which is a class where you become familiar with the ethnobotany of plants used in Hawaii. Natural history of Hawaiian Islands, which will cover geology all the way to insects and coral reef ecosystems. Then we have students take a GIS class, which is Geography Information Systems, which is a computer mapping class where you use usually GPSs to collect data in the field and then bring it into electronic maps. And so that's a big component of our program, where students become very good at computer map making. It's also a very good skill to have in the job market. If you can do GIS, there's a lot of employers that want to hire you. And we teach a pest management class, which includes both weeds and insect and animal pests. So it's basically control of all these things in forest ecosystems. And a lot of our students come to the program as hunters, and so they really like this aspect of the program, because they get to go pig hunting or work for the park and control their ungulates. And then there's a plant propagation class, which is focused on propagating native Hawaiian plant species, but also other forest species, and then getting them out in the field and how to establish forestry programs or forestry plantations. And this is really important now with global warming and a lot of other issues, just getting a lot of trees in the ground. We primarily work with koa forests, but we do a lot of other types of forestry as well. And then we round it off with a practicum course where you tie it all together and you do like basically a forest management plan, which is something that you get paid for. The state does this type of thing all over the US and Hawaii and other countries, they do forest management plans just to sort of know how to manage that forest. And that's what they do as their capstone. Other classes that students can take is a drone class. We're just started our first drone class, and we got 4 students through that program last semester, and they loved it. Very employable skill to have, using drones to survey for remote forest areas. So that's our program in a nutshell. We've got great greenhouses, we've got tractors, we've got a lot of tools, GPS tools, and different environmental measurement tools. And so we really do have a great program, and we have a great club, and the club likes to go on field trips. We really do promote getting in the field. So that's my spiel for the program. I'll take any questions, or I can show a brief slideshow if that's okay. So I want to mention, because a lot of students are from other islands, we've had students come in from Kauai, 3 or 4 students, and we've had students from Maui, and we've had students from different parts of the Big Island, Kamuela, Waimea, Kona. So we've had students come in from different areas, and a few from Oahu as well. So just to let you know, we have, Hilo's a small town, but most of the students that come from other islands fit in very well. And also I want to say this is our 20th anniversary this year. So the program's been going for 20 years. And I should also mention that about half of the students, we've graduated about 90 graduates in those years. And about half of the students go straight into the workforce and work as technicians. And the other half go on for a 4-year degree, and some go on for graduate degrees. We even have some PhDs and lots of master's students. So this program is really designed to bring you in to forest ecosystem management, and then get you hooked so that you do make a career of protecting Hawaii's native forests. Okay, here's the slideshow. You can see some of the things we do, lots of field trips, our greenhouse, and we go in the field a lot. We also work with Hawaiian Lifestyles, and they have a lot of cattle farming. Here's some of our GPS activities that we do, kind of some old pictures, but we teach surveying techniques, a lot of the computer stuff that we promote. We have a tractor, we have some attachments, sprayers, we have lots of microscope equipment to identify different plants. Some people love the hiking. I love the hiking. Other people, we try and make it so that no one gets too burned out on the hiking, but we do have a lot of fun in the field. It is sort of a physically demanding job, although you can work in the nursery, and the nursery is not quite as physically demanding. This is probably Hakalau Forest, which is a bird sanctuary. In natural history, you learn about cave flora and fauna. So we usually go to Kaumana Caves right here in Hilo. A lot of time is spent seed processing. It's a kind of a fun job. You sit around, talk story, clean up the seeds. Greenhouse work is endless, but usually as a group, we do a lot of the projects, so it's not too bad. A lot of weeding, a lot of planting, and then getting things in the ground. That's a big part of what we do, trying to make sure we get things in the ground and that they survive. So here we are up at the national park, digging holes, planting trees. And we meet a lot of leaders, at least in the Big Island. We meet the national park people, we meet people from Hakalau, and so we're really networking. This is the national park, and so you make friends for life, and you'll know these people your whole career. So we try and get people to network with all the forest managers throughout the state if we can. We do a lot of outreach. We try and teach students to get the community high school type education, Earth Fair. We participate with that. We have a native garden here on campus. Before the COVID-19, we'd go to Kaho'olawe as much as we could. We've been to French Polynesia down to Moorea. We've gone to the conservation conference a lot of times. A lot of times we work around rivers and go up Mana Road on the Big Island, Kona a few times. We have community projects where you get hands-on experience.
First, Steele, we got a question that just came in.
Yep.
I'm interested in working for the Department of Land and Natural Resources, DLNR. Are there any internships that I can participate with in your program?
Absolutely. One of the requirements for this class is this program is a 200-hour internship that's required. But a lot of our students will intern for up to 3 or 4 months. They'll do several internships. And one of our hosts is DLNR in Dofa. So we often have interns there. And I was just there a couple of days ago, and I've seen like 3 of our graduates that work there now, right here in Hilo. And they're just always out, doing fencing and things, but they do take interns. And we also have internships with Forest Solutions, local nurseries, the National Park Service, and the Forest Team Program. And this is my colleague, Pamela Scheffler, who's my other half, who couldn't be here today, but she's the other half. And anyway, that's our phone number, contact information. We have a website, and that's my office phone. So happy to take questions over the phone or by email at any time. But yes, internships with DLNR is definitely a possibility. We usually ask the students where they want to work, and then we try and set up their internship so that that's where, we can find the right spot for them. And internships are not like you might say, I'm going to take this down. One thing about internships is we tell the employer that this is not like a regular worker. They need to be trained. And so the interns should be like learning new skills. They should be learning about the reasoning behind the project, not just pulling weeds, not just cleaning pots and things like that. So we like the internship to be a little bit more useful to the intern, kind of like a course in a way.
Professor Steele, if you could share a little bit about Hawaiʻi Community College as a whole, what are some of the special things that you offer there? Why would you suggest that a student come to Hilo and study at Hawaiʻi Community College?
Well, to me, I mean, I have my own bias. I love Hilo. It's a great town. It's small. It has kind of the old Hawaii feel to it. So you really do feel comfortable in Hilo. And the community college has about 2,000 to 3,000 students. It goes up and down, but it's a small school. And it's way more affordable than the four-year schools. And I went to UH Manoa, so I mean, I do like the four-year schools. But if you want to start out for 2 years and get those basic classes out of the way, you can save a lot of money by taking community college credits. And then you can transfer as a junior. The other thing is we have a nice student body. We have everything from traditional students that are like they're 19, 22 years old. And then we have, older students, we have vets, we have local farmers. And so you really get a feel for Hawaii when you come here. We also have a lot of students from different Pacific islands. And so they have different clubs that they always get together. They do their different activities. And so we do have kind of like an international flair as well. We try and coordinate with the Hawaiian lifestyles. I don't know if you know Una Kupu Kupu, but they're a dance group that one of our professors runs. It's fantastic. So you can learn hula while you're here. You can learn Hawaiian. You can learn mahiai or Hawaiian stewardship and still be taking your forestry classes. And we do have a natural history, natural science program, both physical and biological, that's really designed for the student that wants to go straight into a 4-year biological program. That's also here at the community college. And it's very small as well. So your classes will be 6 or 8 students. And that's great for COVID because we can all spread out, right? And but it's hands-on, the students like hands-on. And we really take care of our students, myself and other faculty. We make sure that you get through the program, that, if you need help, we'll be, contacting you and trying to support you in any way we can. So we're,
Awesome.
it's a small school.
Okay. So we want to thank you for your presentation today.
All right. Aloha.